more of these waves coming off, the more opportunities for development.
Kind of like taking, shots on goal or shooting baskets. The more chances you take, and we're still seeing very active flow of these disturbances coming off the coast of Africa. Well, we've got our last views of summer. Yep.
They're happening more and more. And I was like, when are we going to get to a point where we're like, oh, another one just took off? No big deal.
I asked some astronauts that question, actually, Alex, when I was there last week, and they're like, never. No, it will always be a big deal, and you have to believe that for sure. But, this was after the day. The drought has been a big story for us this summer. Now we have too much, and a number of flash flood reports. I was noting one in Ringtown, Pennsylvania earlier, and I looked at it, and it was a snowfall report, 4 inches. It's not snow. I think when someone starts writing 4 inches, it's like, well, that must be snow, right? No, it is rainfall. And look at these big rainfall totals. This is just the past 24 hours, and a lot of this fell in just a couple of hours. Especially hard hit was into south central Massachusetts and Rhode Island. We had accumulations of 6 or 7 inches here into parts of Rhode Island, and some of that actually extended down into Connecticut as well. And today, because of that, plus the fact that it's been raining, we have existing big rainfall rates going on right now across Pennsylvania. There is a flood watch that is posted through this area. So here's where the rain is heaviest. Where you see the bright yellows on the radar, that's where we see some of the heaviest of rainfall. It's now really starting to fill in South Jersey. So some of those beach towns, especially, once that moves in, you know how the flooding and the poor drainage areas go. We'll have to be watching for that. Philadelphia and Delaware and Montgomery counties here, these counties under a flash flood warning. This goes until 11 o'clock. Now, it may need to be extended because you notice the rain is still in the area. So we'll have to keep watch on that. It's not moving out at all. It's a stationary front, which is causing all of this right now. And there's going to be some enhancements later to make it rain even more across this area. So we are certainly concerned about that today. Watching for concerns on the interstates, the turnpike, the Northeast Extension, the Blue Route, all are going to be affected by this heavy rainfall. Now, the other concern across the zone is that we could see some thunderstorms. There's just a little enhancement in the mid-levels of the atmosphere scooting through today, Delaware and South Jersey, parts of the eastern shore of Maryland. This could mean some severe weather. A brief spin-up of tornado is possible because of the way the winds are set up in the atmosphere. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. There's a lot of rain, there's a lot of cloud cover, and sometimes that actually mitigates the risk for severe storms, but you have to watch it. You have to watch out for that risk here today. We see this whole area still wet after lunchtime. This is 1 o'clock. It's still ongoing at 6 o'clock tonight, kind of filling back into the I-95 in New York City and the whole tri-state area. And showers, yes, continuing as we get into the 11 o'clock hour tonight. Still moisture getting thrown back in across this area. So this really could add up in terms of rainfall. We're talking another couple of inches. And Alex, the tough thing is when you get that in an hour or two, that's when you really start to run into problems. Look at Boston. Like we see out here, there's puddles out in the park. We're going to see more of that to come here today and tonight.
Indeed.
It was a SpaceX launch. So they're just ready. Boom, boom, boom to go.
Boom, boom. Yeah. Wow. Pretty amazing stuff. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, hopefully, of course, Artemis can get going here at some point. It is still, of course, on track to be launched. It's still on the launch pad right now. And so they're still working. Wow. Okay. Yeah, they're still working through the details. Yep. It's not easy. It is not easy.
No, rocket science is not easy. Is that right? Yes. Oh, so what's not easy actually is dealing with all this rain and the forecast for it. In terms of the Northeast today, you have more rain in the forecast. So that's what I want to look at.
Yeah, absolutely, Jen. It has been a soggy time. It doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon.
Yeah, today's going to be a wet one all day. And, what's actually easy about this forecast is it's what you see is what you get sort of day. Where it's raining, you see Espanol. And for you said it feels like a year because you've had such a busy summer.
Exactly. We had a lot of things.
That was from California. Do you guys get a lot of video from over some of the international? We're dealing with Hurricane K. That's there in the Eastern Pacific. What are some of the big concerns when it comes to Hurricane K? We're dealing with Hurricane K. That's there in the Eastern Pacific. What are some of the big concerns when it comes to Hurricane K?
So Alex, this is as long as yours. Albert Martinez from the Weather Channel in Espanol. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
And congrats on all your success so far.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Weather Channel here helping you plan here for the week that is ahead here for us as we start off the week, at least for many, after the 3-day holiday weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Now we're marching on, and a lot of us are hoping that the rain would march on and get out of here.
Forward to a Cat 3 weekend. Well, I mean,
It did, but it's still one you got to be really paying attention to. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, off the soapbox.
Welcome back. America's Morning Headquarters here for you as we roll on through this Tuesday. And what we do have is some wet weather that is still in play across sections of the Northeast. It's been soggy times. It's one of those, it's like, man, we go from being so dry to now so very wet.
And it's another example of these big rainfall events. Alex, we bring this up once a week. What do you consider to be a lot of rain? It's got to be.
Other day we're seeing this, right?
Yep.
It's just such a wild phenomenon that we're seeing.
Yep.
And I don't see it stopping.
Exactly. I'll show you today's big rainfall event that we had. Well, it happened yesterday, but I'll give you perspective on just how much fell in Rhode Island. We had 10.83 inches of rain, and scrubs are a part of the process.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, today we are following some rain for you across the Northeast, and it was torrential yesterday, Alex.
I mean, bunches. What's the phrase? Raining cats and dogs?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we were dealing with there in the Northeast. And, well, unfortunately, it's doing that again, even at this hour.
It's not as heavy, I'll show you, but it's still pretty heavy. And so thankfully, it's not, the 1 to 2+ inch rainfall rate per hour kind of deal that we had yesterday.